How you doing? You alright?
So 15 or so live and then 15 or so embargoed.
Sorry?
Yeah. Morning, Mick and Seamus. Not afternoon yet. Can you give us an update, first of all, in terms of injuries and that? How is Alan Judge and the fitness of the rest of the squad?
Oh, Judge is fine. Judge is going for an op tomorrow, isn't he? I think we all knew that. I don't know if he did. He had it set so he could travel back with us, which was important. We didn't want to leave him there. And he's a groomsman at a wedding today, so that'll be interesting how his suit fits him today. But he's alright, it was good enough, wasn't he? He was in good spirits, he came back and he's got the injury, he'll be fine, he'll get it done tomorrow.
Are you thinking about changing personnel in the team for tomorrow?
Possibly. Yeah, I've just seen how they all are this morning, they all seem all good, all moving well, all felt okay.
Yeah, it's a good session.
Any areas in particular that you feel need freshening up?
Not really. Players on the pitch.
Because we spoke about Bobby Brady, for example. You talked about his fitness. Do you think he needs to start another game?
Well, all the players, I think they've all, said that some of them haven't played for 3-4 weeks, but they didn't look as though they had any ill effects after, when I saw it on, what night did we play? Friday night. They were all still running hard at 94 minutes, so all of them, we'll have a look at them.
You talked about the spirit in the camp. It's a different sort of challenge being favourites at home and expected to win, isn't it?
Of course it is, but that doesn't affect the spirit in the camp, the mood of the players and how they get on, and I think the spirit was evident certainly when we equalised late on in the game against a very good side. You know that anyway, I'm sort of telling you things that you already know, but it is different. As we saw in Gibraltar, and we saw how stubborn they were, and they've got the threat, of course, corners and free kicks, but for Darren Randolph, a magnificent save would have been 1-0 down from a corner kick. So we have to be careful. I've just said to them actually, look, I've loved my 3 weeks together with the lads. They've been brilliant. They've trained great. Everything's been good about it, but it will all count for nothing unless we win our home game tomorrow.
You said Glenn was going to come back for certain games. Is this one you think he might be able to sit out?
Well, you'll see it when you get the team sheet. I start answering questions like that of when am I going to strengthen, what I'm going to do. I'm not going to do that. I haven't informed the players yet of what the team is. But there's no problem with that. We've been together for 3 weeks, so whatever I decide to do, they're all willing and able to play in the positions that they'll be playing in.
James, can you describe the atmosphere in the camp now? I noticed that you were at Breffni Park yesterday and some other players were at the Shamrock Rovers game, so you enjoyed a little bit of downtime?
Yeah, I'm glad I asked the manager's permission before I went, or I'm sure he would have found out by now. But no, it was great to go, and thankfully the manager let me pop out for the couple of hours, and it was great to see Donegal win and play so well.
How do you rate their chances now for the rest of the year?
Hopefully they can get that Ulster title again this year and go from there. But I thought they're very dangerous going forward. My own club man, Owen Van Galler and Hugh McFadden did very well, and Ryan McHugh's a great player. So they've got good players all over the pitch, and hopefully they can win the final.
Now, turning your thoughts to Gibraltar, that last game was probably a nightmare game in many respects, apart from the result for us.
Yeah, it was one that we wanted to forget about as quick as possible. We got the 3 points, which is what we wanted. I think everybody expected us to win by more, but ask any of the players, that game was crazy. The wind was all over the place, and it was their first game at home as well, which made it more difficult. They were right up for it, so it was a tough night. And as the manager touched on, a great save from Daz to keep us in it, and we got out of there with 3 points, and we got to prepare the same again at international level. It's a cliche, but there's no easy games, and we have to make sure that we're fully prepared, and all 3 points tomorrow as well.
I get a sense there was the game against Denmark. We've played them so often and all that, but people were very impressed with the way in which we went about our business, and obviously delighted with the result. Do you think that'll be reflected in the crowd? Did you get a sense from being around the place yesterday that the nation is taking to this team again?
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, you know, walking, you know, the people of Donegal and even the people of Tyrone were very proud of the team, and you know, thanked me to thank the lads for the result, and they're very happy to see that goal go in, and very proud. And you know, no, I'm not just saying that. You know, maybe 10 plus people had them words to say, so that's good to know that the country are behind us, and it's great for the players to realise that as well. And when we're out there, you know, we do think of the fans as well.
Thank you.
Seamus, hi. Just in terms of the last home game at the Aviva in this campaign, there was a real sense of the team trying to pass the ball a little bit more, certainly from what I saw, and also against the bigger nations trying to press and get after them. In this game tomorrow, given that we should have more of the ball than Gibraltar, and if we try and press them properly, do you feel we can really put on a real football performance at home?
Yeah, that's what we've been trying to do since the managers come in. You've touched on it there yourself. You know, against Georgia, it was to press them first and try and win the ball back as high up the pitch as we can, and then play from there. And at times we did that very well against Georgia. And then, especially I think when we were 1-0 down against Denmark, we played some really good football. So we're capable of it, and we're playing at home in front of our own fans. So you know, the result is the most important thing. But of course, we want to get the ball down and put on a performance. Yeah.
Is that something as a player that gives you guys more confidence if the manager and the coaching staff are asking you, one, to get on the ball, and two, to get after the opposition high up? Because you know, sometimes if you're playing against a team that's, you know, supposedly better than you, if you drop off, maybe you're already allowing them play their natural game, whereas if you go and press and try and get in the ball, it's what you guys do that matters, as opposed to overly focusing on the opposition. Yeah,
I think it's the best way to play. Try and win the ball back high up against good teams, you know, and even against Denmark at times we tried to do it, and there is going to be times where you get picked off with the likes of Eriksson playing balls around the corner. But me being a defender, if you know, we're trying to play it from the back and teams are pressing, it's difficult. So that's not what you want. So if we can do that and win the ball back and play from there, then great.
We saw at the last home game the tennis balls and all that stuff that went on. What would you say to the fans who are going to attend the game tomorrow? Hopefully it's a really good crowd and they lend their support, as they did in that game too. But the Aviva can be an unbelievable place. You played in some great games over there over the years when the fans are massively behind the team. Yeah, look, as soon as them tennis balls were taken off the pitch, the atmosphere went through the roof again. So no question marks about the support we have, never have done. You know, even after the Denmark game, coming out to the interviews, you could still hear our fans singing. So we've got, as far as I'm concerned, the best support in the world, and they'll show that at the Aviva as well. And when they do, it's a hard place for any team to come. Mick, from your point of view as the manager, you didn't have too much time between before the last two games, but you've now had the camp in Portugal. You've had time to work with the group, with the coaching staff on the pitch. How happy are you as to where the team is now in terms of how you want them to play, given you've had more time this camp?
I'm delighted with the players. I thought they were excellent against Georgia, and I thought they were very good the other night as well against a really good Denmark side. We didn't have as many chances as we did against Georgia, but I didn't expect it playing against Denmark. I'm thrilled with them. I think they're a great bunch, and I said afterwards, whatever happens, nobody's going to outwork us, nobody's going to out-scrap us, nobody's going to out-fight us, and then I think we've got that quality that we can add to that, which we've shown. So, no, I'm really pleased. What
sort of things have you used the time to work on with them to shape them in the way you want them to play?
Playing football. All the things. Throw-ins, free kicks, corner kicks, passing the ball, pass and move, running. Midfielders getting in the box, good deliveries. I think we've covered most things, haven't we, to be honest? So, just playing football. And being aggressive and being positive, that's it.
Yeah, you said playing football, and also certainly the last home game you looked to go and press the opposition, and in the other night, and I asked James the same question about you giving the players the confidence to go and impose themselves on the game as opposed to sitting off and trying to soak up pressure.
My teams have always played like that. Never tried to do anything else. I said when I got the job that I wanted to have a team like the teams I played in, and actually the teams that I managed before 17, 18 years ago that were aggressive. We got after teams, tried to stop teams playing, and then we have the ball, we try and play. There's nothing new to it really.
And just on the start overall, if we win on Monday tomorrow, it's 10 points from 4 matches. That would be an almost perfect start to the campaign. But as you said after the game the other night, if we don't win, you're looking at maybe 8 points or only 7.
You've answered your own question. Absolutely. 10 points I told you I took a draw. We didn't go and settle for a draw. We weren't looking for that. In fact, in 94 minutes, we were the one that looked more likely to score in that game on Friday night. Despite they'd missed chances, I get that, but we went looking for a win, and we have to back that up with a win tomorrow. We're at home.
Mick, a lot of positives from the game in Copenhagen, but in terms of improvement, where do you want to see the improvement?
When we win the ball back high up the pitch, doing better with it, keeping it, not giving it straight back to them, because we did on a lot of occasions, which I spoke about at half time, we've spoke about since. You know, sometimes I don't know whether it's a rush to score a goal. You just got to. You go from that crash bang one mentality to get the ball back, which you've got to have, that real aggressive, then to, you know, pulse rate needs to come down a bit and calm down and pass the ball to each other. So I thought we did the first bit really well, second bit not as well as I like, but they're playing against a team that they went closing the ball down as well. I think if you looked at the two stats in terms of how far and how hard and the sprints that both teams ran, it was a real competitive game there on Friday.